Sexual orientation is one of the key things that everybody must have before venturing into marriage. Unfortunately, we're in a society where sex as a subject has been misinterpreted. Couples these days are being begged to have sex, while the people who are not married are being begged to stop involving themselves in premarital sex. This has been the prevailing situation in our society today. But that is not what we're going to be looking at today. So, if you are joining this channel for the first time, this is Rating TV, and we talk about issues that surround marriages, relationship, and societal issues. So, today we're going to be looking at the power of sex. The power of sex. Now, sex is the most beautiful thing that God made. Now, listen to me. He did not make this for everybody. He did not make this for everybody. Sex is only made for people that are married, legally married. You must not involve yourself in anything concerning sex until you are married, because that is the way it was created. So it is only meant for those that are legally married. Now, like I said earlier, it is one of the most beautiful things that God created. And that is also one of the most dangerous things that God also created. But you decide which it becomes to you as an individual. But away from that, let us look at the importance of sex in marriages. Now, the way you pray for the right partner, the way you pray that you have a mutual understanding, you have compatibility, emotional compatibility, physical compatibility, that is also the same way you ought to also pray for sexual compatibility between you and your partner before venturing into marriage. Because if this is not assured, it is going to cause a lot of problems. Now, let me tell you this. Sex is one of the most important things in marriage. It is, in fact, some of us can even regard it as the most important thing. Depending. All these things are relative. There are people who consider sex as the most important thing in their marriage. There are people who don't. There are people who see it as one of the most important things. But let me tell you this, sex is one of the most important things about marriage or in marriage that must be paid close and very serious attention to, because if you don't pay attention to that, infidelity might set in. And of course, you know that when infidelity sets in, separation could be inevitable. That is where you begin to see cases of divorce here and there and all of that. Now, sexual compatibility is very, very important. It is super important that you must look at it anytime for those of you that want to venture into marriage. Now, the power of sex cannot be overemphasized when it comes to marriage. Now, when we talk about power of sex, when you have sex with your partner, your husband or your wife, you people begin to develop some level of understanding. You people begin to develop some level of bond. And have you ever heard that couples who are sexually involved, that it gets to a point where they begin to resemble one another, like they begin to resemble each other? Now, this thing may sound like a myth to you, but it happens. That is because of the physical bonding. That is because of the continual meeting of these two people. Now, as they are meeting sexually, they are becoming one. They are bonding. Emotionally, they are bonding. Physically, they are bonding. Now, it is making them come together. It is making them understand each other. That is why it is advised that whenever you are having issues in your marriages, make sure that the issue of sex is properly addressed. Make sure that the issue of intimacy is properly paid attention to. Unfortunately, some of us some people, unfortunately and inappropriately, some people, when they are in a relationship, they are heavily involved in intimacy, they are heavily involved sexually with their partner. But the moment they get married, it is as though that it's as though that the desire for sex disappears. It is as if the urge to have sex with this partner that you were doing all manner of sex with, all manner of style with, it just disappeared. It is not supposed to be like that, because marriage is actually meant to be enjoyed, not endured. So all the sexual style in the whole world are supposed to be exhibited in marriage. Yes, I said so. Now let me bring in the Christian mentality the Christian view of sexual styles and in marriages and all of that. Now, this is my understanding. I've seen a lot of people who said, oh, there are some styles that you cannot do in marriage, that this is not Christian, it's not Christian style, it's not acceptable, it's against the will of God and all of that. Listen, let me tell you something. This is my own understanding. If I'm married, I'm going to do all style with my wife because she's my wife. And we've gone to the altar and we have presented ourselves together. We're a married couple. We're humans. So we are meant to involve in every style of our choice because that is also the same way we establish that bond that we're talking about. That is also the same way we establish that understanding we're talking about. So sex is very important. Please, it is an aspect of your marriage that you must pay attention to. Now, if you are yet to get married, understand this. You must first of all have a sexual talk with your partner. Now, I'm a Christian. I will never advise you to venture into premarital sex. But then, if you cannot venture into premarital sex, have a one-on-one discussion with your partner. Understand his or her level of sexual desire. Then compare it to yours and then understand each other. Make sure you're having a sexual understanding. Make sure you have that sexual compatibility before venturing into it. I've seen a lot of homes. I've seen a lot of marriages that went down the drain. Why? Not because the partner is cheating, not because one of the partners is cheating. Now, the case is that one of them has more sexual desire than the other, or one of them doesn't have sexual desire than the other. Now, it ended. So it's important that you look into this case before venturing into marriage. And then, if you're already there and probably you are facing issues with your marriage, look at your sexual life with your partner. Make it exciting. Don't come to bed every night and say, I'm so tired, I cannot do this and all of that. Remember that when you were dating, you perhaps made a promise to your partner that you would never be too tired to attend to their sexual needs. Now, this is marriage. You are giving excuses. You are only giving room for cheating. You are only giving room for your partner to start looking for another person out there to satisfy the sexual urge, which may not be in your best interest. So please, it is important. Make your sexual life with your partner exciting, make it adventurous, make it something that whenever he or she goes out or travels, what they are thinking about is to return to your, to the adventures that you present to them in the bedroom. Make it so adventurous that, it is just going to be just both of you, because that is your medium of understanding, that's a medium of bonding and all of that. So it is super important. It is an aspect of your marriage, it is an aspect of your home that you must pay attention to, because if you don't do that, it is going to cause a lot of issues. Sex is super important. It is super important. God created it not just for multiplication, not just for reproduction, but also to help you understand each other. Okay? So if you're joining my channel for the first time, I want you to click on the subscribe button, like this video, also let me know what you think in the comment section. Okay, this is Rated TV and I'm going to be making a return with another interesting topic. Believe it or not, it is going to be very, very interesting and engaging. Stay with me, I'll be right back.